Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. The episode today is an interview with one of our Zen Supermom clients who's just finishing the program after 3.5 months because she got what she wanted. So, the episode is for you if you, just like her, are struggling with feeling like a victim of really not good, not healthy relationships for your entire life. So, what this mom is going to share is how she felt like she was pushed, her boundaries were being pushed since she was a kid. Her dad was a bipolar alcoholic. Mom is, they call it ADHD because she has so much energy and she's very pushy as well, putting her opinions and judgments on anybody. And she never had the patience to sit down and talk to her when she was little. So she grew up getting into all of these relationships where people were just rolling all over her. Nobody was respecting any of her boundaries, everybody making her feel not heard and not good enough. And only when she became a mom, she realized, like, this thing has to stop. Finally, she was doing so much therapy. She even studied psychology. She was doing all of these different kinds of courses, books, readings, I don't know what, even inner child healing. None of that really, it gave her a lot of awareness and understanding, but it never made it go away. She was still victim with no boundaries, exploding and growing from 0 to 100 in like a split second. And when she got her daughter, she decided, like, no, this really has to stop now because I don't want my daughter to repeat the same generational pattern and end up the same way. And that's how she joined us. That's why she started doing the Zen Supermom program. So how is she doing now, 3.5 months later? And what does she share about all of these other therapies she did before, all of the inner child, and I don't know what she did before? She will tell you why she thinks that none of that helped her. What is it that helped her finally got the results? And how is she doing now? What are her next plans? You want to see? You want to see her shine? Then come and meet Yo. Hi, Yo. So happy to have you on the Zen Supermom podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm also so happy.
Perfect.
A little bit nervous, but
and that's completely okay. We promise I'll be nice. And everybody listening, I'm sure they will appreciate you sharing your story. And you were even telling me that you didn't have time to prepare, and it's perfect because I really want this to be like a conversation and for people to get to know you so that they would be able to identify with your story. So maybe let's start there. You're a mom of, like, what is the family setup situation? Tell us.
yeah. So I'm turning 45 this March, 24th March. And last year I got a miracle. My daughter, Heidi, she was born the 1st of April. And her father is Spanish and he lives in Madrid. And that's a little bit complicated. But we are both happy for her. And I live in Gothenburg. And my mom lives in Stockholm, and I have a father here in Gothenburg, but he is, yeah.
But there's like multicultural setup and it's difficult location wise as well. Very good.
Yeah.
What was the point, like, for anybody listening and wondering, because now they will see you're laughing and smiling and then talking about how great your life is now. Was it always like this? And like, let's be more specific. It was not like this. How were you
No.
feeling when you found me and the Zen Supermom program?
I felt like a lot of people, I think it was too good to be true, actually, because I have been struggling all my life with my inner child and my mental state. And so I've had a lot of destructive relationships, and I have been taking care of my father. He's bipolar and alcoholic. And my mother, some people say it's ADHD, but then you can understand she has a lot of energy. Is not really, she didn't give me the time to sit down and be present. So that combination, and they separated when I was 8 years old. And then when I was at my father's place, I took care of him and my younger sister, who was 5 years younger. And this made me not to be able to feel my feelings and get what I needed. And this has been a struggle all my life. I've been to the state healthcare to get counseling. I've been to the private sector for counseling. I've been to these AA, similar to AA meetings, but for dysfunctional families, because I'm not addicted to alcohol, but still I'm codependent. I've been codependent. So this has made me also enter these really destructive relationships, and a lot of fights with my mother. And I traveled around the world. I worked in different countries, but I always, it was, I mean, deep inside, it was something that was not really good. You know, I just flew away from everything. I didn't want to put my roots anywhere, but that's what I really wanted. And now, when I got Haiti and her father and me were screaming or fighting a little bit, then this is not what I wanted to do. I really wanted her to get another childhood what I got.
Yeah.
So this is why I entered this program.
Yeah. And Heidi is lucky to have you, right? Because it sounds like it would have been completely normal and natural for you to throw your hands in the air, say, like, look, I tried so much therapy, nothing worked.
Mm,
I'm so skeptical. All of this is BS. And it's just like, too bad. That's what's going to be. And you refuse to do that. You're like, Heidi is my priority. She's still a little baby. I need to get help as soon as I can before she grows up
yeah,
and starts seeing it like I saw it when I was a kid. So
yeah.
well done for you, Supermom.
Really, it's really like that. This is the last thing I can do. I mean, otherwise nothing will work, because I really fought. I read a lot of books, and like dating a program, or like a woman who has this book is it the book is called Dating Starts With You. And this is the case, but this program is, you have to do a change. You cannot only read, and you cannot only talk. I mean, that's been really nice for me. And like we talked, you and me, that it's good that I've done all this hard work before. So this made me ready for the program as well. But the combination with these highways and neurons to um, deconnect the negative highway, so, and make the new one the positive, it's really amazing. Yeah.
That was the mental fitness practice part of what we did. I'm curious, what made you like take the leap of faith and start a program like this? Because Zen Supermom is not like the classic talk therapy. It's not a classic parenting course. So what in it for you specifically? Like, what is it that gave you the hope that maybe this is different and maybe this is the thing that's going to help me finally?
I think it's the belief that thoughts, I mean, if you change your thoughts, then you can change how you feel. But it's difficult. But, and then the combination to do, I mean, the reading, or yeah, something practical and some therapy, the
Yes. Yeah.
combination. And also what you told me about your background, because I recognize the situations, or in this first, you had
The mommy tantrum training, like
yeah,
how
I
I
think
talk about,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, this on Zoom, well,
Yeah.
before we had our first talk, then this made me think this will work.
Yeah, because I always wash my dirty laundry publicly. I always tell everybody what a
Yeah,
terrible mom I was. Yeah. And that
and
nothing
that's
helps
very
anymore.
very, I mean, oh my god, is she saying that, and she wants to help others, and yeah, is it working? I mean, then I have to try it.
Yeah. And isn't it fantastic? Because I was just looking at your dates. So you were on the mommy tantrum training on October 8th. We had your assessment call together 1 week later, so 14th of October. And we are recording this podcast episode 3.5 months later.
Mm,
And you're a different person. So
yeah.
let's unpack that, because as I noted, like you not only did so many courses, so many books and stuff and therapies before, but you were also studying psychology at the university. You studied it, right? For like one
Yeah.
semester. So
Yeah.
you had so much background, so much
Mm.
awareness. What is it that we did with you inside the program that you feel like this was the thing that was the missing piece for you, that you enjoyed the most?
It's the picky reps.
The mental fitness practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewiring your brain, like that
Yeah.
scientific piece, and making it practical.
Yeah. You have to do it all the time.
Yeah. So give me some specific example. Like before you started doing this practice, what was the most triggering situation for you? When were you shouting and yelling the most? Was it with your partner about something?
Yes. And my mother.
And your mother. So
Mm.
how would it go before? Like they would say something and you would start shouting, yelling back at them?
Yes, I was called La Bomba by my partner who's Spanish. So then you understand. It
He
goes
called you the
from
bomb
1 to 100
in a split second.
in second. Yes. Yeah. I could not
Okay.
handle my emotions. It's like you push a button and that explosion. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was not even like that with Heidi, with your daughter, but it was with the adults in your life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now 3.5 months later, how is it different?
I am calmer. And it's, I mean, also some situations outside in the society when somebody's doing something wrong, I always wanted to correct them. And now I just feel, no, I will not put my energy there. And now when my mom, I did this inner child work that was really important for me when I had my one-on-one sessions. This has made me being able to empathize more with my mother and my father. And of course, it's still, it's still challenge because I understand that I have to do this all my life. And I knew this before as well. I need to, be aware, but still I can hold myself now. And it's wonderful. My mother has just been here for 3-4 days. Yeah. And for the first time in a lot of years, she said she wants to come back, and it was so good. And she believed in me in this program, even though we fight a lot. She believed in this program. My sister, she's not ready because she has her mechanism, defense mechanism, and my partner, her partner, they are not really, believing in this, but they have a lot of luggage. But anyway, so my mom believed in me, and it's so nice. And I didn't react in these 3 days. I didn't blow up. Maybe
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. Maybe I reacted when my daughter was crying in the night and my mom was stressed. And then I said to my mother, this is natural, but I didn't explode. So it's
fantastic. And this is something we see with every single ZenSupermom client. Actually, the easiest thing is to stop yelling at the kids, which is for moms who find me because they want to stop yelling at their kids. Like that was not your case. You were you were la bomba with the family. But those who want to stop yelling at the kids, and they tried so many different things already, they are very skeptical and they're like, oh my goodness, this is this impossible goal. No, like stop yelling at the kids is the easiest thing. Then usually what people work on is the relationship, the intimate relationship with partner and spouse. Being able to not get triggered when your own mom or dad say or do something. This is the ultimate ninja level up. Congratulations. For 3 days without being triggered, just setting your boundaries like, mom, this is normal. Kind of like back off, mom.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Huh? Some people, and I don't want to make any promises to anybody who's watching or listening right now. it does not always happen so fast. So some people keep working on their relationship with their parents for longer, for many more months. But it's just like we give them the tools in the first 3 months in the program for sure. But they just have to keep practicing for longer, because this is the heaviest. This is where your patterns, your triggers are coming from your childhood. It's your parents who put them there. Even if you had a happy childhood like me, like I never got beaten up, I just got yelled at from time to time. But other than that, I had a dream childhood. So happy. I have nothing to complain about. However, the seeds of my triggers with my daughter were put there by my mom and by my dad. So then until today, it's still sometimes challenging when I'm around my
Yeah.
dad and he start making just some of these comments.
Mm.
And there's a part of me, the inner child, exactly as Jo
Yeah.
has said, that wants to jump up and protect me because I feel like my boundaries were crossed. So again, being able to do this after 3.5 months of practice, it's a huge achievement. Congratulations. This is perfect, Jo.
And also, I want to add, my mother never put any boundaries in my childhood, or never for herself. And this has been a key for me. Before she came, we talked, as I learned in the hot seat with you, that I have to make up my boundaries, and including my mother, for example, or the person that I put the boundaries against. Or yeah, so I called her before she came, and we discussed what triggered me, or like I have to put this boundary, and can we come up with a solution together, so that we can have a great time. And this is amazing because she really worked on it, and she said things with, because it was the phone that I didn't want her to use the phone and me be more present. And she actually said, okay, no, I will not use it now, and but I need to call my sister because she has her birthday. I cannot do that. And then I said, yes, you can do that. You can ask me, we can talk about it. But still, that she didn't use it all the time, and it was, yeah, amazing.
Wow. Yes.
Mm.
And boundaries are a huge thing because, again, it starts with kids like, oh, my kids are not listening when I tell them something. So it's one thing when your kids are not having boundaries, but when you realize it is actually going back to your childhood because
Mm.
your parents didn't allow you to have any boundaries, and maybe then they were too strict in reinforcing their boundaries. They were punishing and blaming and shaming, so you don't want to do the same to your kids, but then the kids end up being completely loose and out of control. It's like,
Mm.
where is the line? So it's
Yeah.
very good that, like, I have no doubt Heidi is so lucky to have a mom who can set boundaries, and you will start soon practicing them. She's now 10 months old. Yeah,
Yeah.
she will
Tomorrow.
start pushing your boundaries very soon. So you can practice on her as well. But in the meantime, being able to practice with your mom, this is fantastic.
Mm.
Well done. And the fact that I'm hearing you say that you have much more compassion for
Yeah.
your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, and maybe help me understand here. This is something we didn't talk about when we checked in your final bonus consultation together.
Mm.
Where do you feel the difference was with the inner child work? Because yes, we, as part of the program, you got 5 one-on-one trauma healing
Mm.
sessions with one of my coaches. And part of that, one of the most important processes we are teaching to each of our clients is the inner child healing.
Yeah.
But when we were already meeting before you started the program, you were telling me you already did a lot of inner child work before. So how was this different? How come now it works for you and it didn't work for you before?
I think that person that I had therapy or counseling therapy together with, she was not as experienced as you are. So I really got the feeling like I could visualize and make this exercise, and it was wonderful because I still have that feeling from that session, and I can um pat myself, my inner child, little Johanna. I mean, she's in there in my heart,
Beautiful.
and it's still, the sensation of that session is still there.
That's beautiful.
I can recall it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you will
So
keep doing it because
mm,
that's how you keep healing. Yeah.
yeah, when my mom says something that hurts me, I just, I don't know, I pat myself and hug myself and my heart where she is, small
Beautiful.
little Johanna. Yeah.
You're reparenting yourself. This is what, like, so many online experts, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's what you're doing, reparenting yourself. And that's so
Yeah.
beautiful. It is true. There is a lot of talk outside about inner child healing and stuff, but
Mm.
it needs to stick, because if it's only in your head and you can read tons of books
Yeah.
about inner child, but until you feel it and until you can use it,
Mm.
you know how to use it, it's not going
Mm.
to make much difference. So that was the final piece you were missing before.
And it's really challenging to visualize, but just let it go and try, because that's I mean, I have had struggles with visualizing, but just
Yeah.
like have fantasy, or like just don't push it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
but
this is
yeah.
also another thing, because some people are not visual by
Mm.
default. And
Yeah.
then it's really all about connecting with those feelings. Because for
Mm.
anybody there who's listening or watching, you can imagine the last time when you lost it. Like somebody triggered you, they did or said something, and you felt like, "Rah!" There was this,
Mm.
and you called it that there was like a lion in you. Yo, I
Mm.
remember that you
Yeah.
became the lion.
Yes.
So everybody, imagine it right now, the moment, the situation, the last time you became the lioness and you were like, oh, just before you did, there was some pain. Rewind the movie a little bit earlier, just before you yelled, there was something you were feeling. And you were not even aware of it, because if you were just like yo, you were saying la bomba from 0 to 100 in 1 second. If it's also happening for you that fast, you don't even realize like what the heck just happened, how come I lost it
Mm-hmm.
again. So slow it down and notice you will be feeling something. You will be feeling a certain type of pain of not being heard, not feeling respected. What was it for you, yo? What was the trigger? Not good enough? Do you remember
Uh,
even?
I was not listened to. I mean, I was not heard. I was not accepted, and yeah, not good enough.
Yeah,
That's
those are classic. Like one of these five, it's always the case, right? That's all you need to go and start saving and healing your inner child, because it is your inner child feeling it. It's the little girl in you who felt this way in the first years of your life. So this is exactly what Yo is saying. You can heal her through visualizations, but you can also heal her by connecting to that feeling. You don't even have to have a picture of you, how you looked like, or what you were doing when you were 3, 4 years old, and what your parents did to you that caused it. You feeling not good enough, not heard, not respected. It's enough that you feel it, because your body still feels it until today. Whenever somebody else makes you feel not heard, not respected, not loved. Yeah. So that's the inner child work. And I'm so happy, yeah, that it finally worked
mm.
for you this way. Very
Yeah,
good.
it's so difficult. I mean, when you just react like that and you cannot change it, it's terrible. And I want to point out that I'm a person, my true essence. I mean, I really love life, and I have so many things I want to say. I'm curious, but I put so much energy on negative energy on these destructive relationships, and I have been a victim all my life almost. And it's, of course, it's natural because I was in that situation, but still I could have it could have disappeared a lot of years ago. And I worked since I was 25 years old, but now I'm 45. So I mean, it can change. But this energy, I put so much energy in this, and I said that to my mother. I didn't do these things because I could do something else, but I have struggled, and now I don't want to put this. I don't want to have this negative energy in my life anymore. I don't want to put. I have so many things I want to do, and I want to use that energy for those things.
And
Yeah.
not to waste it on fighting and
No,
explosions. And yeah.
and I mean, you do it because you have no choice. I didn't have choice, but oh my God, if you could not get triggered and think about everyone else is making uh, things wrongly,
Yeah.
my
So
stickler and my victim.
exactly,
Yeah.
stickler and victim. So those were your most like strongest trauma coping mechanisms talking in your
Yeah.
head, huh? The
Mm.
perfectionist.
Yeah.
And so judging everybody else for not being
Yeah.
perfect, judging you for not being
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Mm.
Classic. Very good. I'm sure there are so many moms listening now. They're like, oh my goodness, this is me. Oh yeah, you're not alone. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's so wonderful to see your energy, how it all shifted.
Mm.
Like there is
Mm.
not the like oh line as
Yeah.
victim, but like so
Yeah.
much open and now ready to put that energy into something good and positive. So tell
Yeah.
me, I'm curious, what's next for you? Where are you putting
Yeah.
that good energy for now?
I mean, I'm now on maternity leave, and I'm working in the police department as a fraud investigator. And this is something also that is connected to this program, because I wanted to have a real job to show that I can do something that it's accepted, like an investigator or like a doctor or something, because I felt like that my family put a lot of disbeliefs or in me, that they didn't really accepted how I am. And I am a creative person. I love being a hippie, or like, yeah, I do a lot of work, these creative works. Here I have macrame. I did a lot of things.
I love
And
it. You never showed me. Oh, so cute.
anyway, so this is what I want to do, and I want to do a combination with therapy. And also I have a vision or a dream that I want to have some therapy connected to animals, because there is, for example, therapy that you can do with animals, for example with
Absolutely.
horses, or if you pet them and all that, make you calm. So my dream is to have a house where I live, or with my friend. Actually, it's now in the loop, but um to do something that I really really love, and believe in myself that I can do this.
How amazing is that?
Yeah,
And no longer thinking about, oh, what is my family going to think? Is it a career good enough for people to like to boost your ego? Like,
that's the
no,
thing.
none of that. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
seeing your spirit in it.
And like I learned in the, or I take with me in the session, one of the one-to-one sessions, what are the things about me is not none of my business.
Like, you mean like what other people think about you and what
Yeah,
expectations they have on you? Yeah.
it's not none of my business. And I said that to my mother, and he said, "What do you did you think of like that? That oh." And maybe now she's understanding more and more and more. So, and she started also to look at herself. We talked about her, that she has a generational trauma,
For sure. That's why we
and
cannot blame our
it's
parents. They did the
no.
best they could with what
So
they knew. Yeah.
yeah, but it's beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I will sit where you sit one day. You never know.
You
That's
are
also
already
my dream.
sitting where you're meant to sit. This is no comparison. This is your path and it's going to be so beautiful. It's already started. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
I really want to help others, like you said in the first session, or like the when you introduced the program. This is also why I entered, because I believe in good energy, and that we are connected somehow.
Yeah.
If you do, I mean, the positive will, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you do good, and in the end it will come back to you, I think, and the energy.
And the ripple effect of it.
Yeah.
Because now that we helped you, you're ready to go and help out other people. And how
Mm-hmm.
fantastic is that? The energy is going to come back to you. So beautiful. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much, you, for sharing a little bit of your story and just like being so open, even agreeing to have like your face on the camera, have your name there. That really speaks volumes about how much transformation you got and how much you believe in this method. So thank you. I appreciate you.
And one thing more,
Yeah.
I always used makeup before. I didn't even put mascara on, and that's a big thing for me, because I don't have time. Doesn't matter. I just do it. So I mean, it's a maybe weird thing to say, but still, it's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
and
Feeling free. If
and
that makes you happy, put it on. But if you're doing it for anybody else or because you're afraid of their judgment, if you don't, like, no, this is, yeah,
mm,
exactly what this is
so
about,
just
right?
a parenthesis, but
It's an
yeah,
important one. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
That
And thank
just,
you for doing this. I mean, for doing this work, and you put so much energy and have this group calls, and the hot seats. It's wonderful. It's also a little bit connected with everything that I did. It's all in this program. And when you go to these AA meetings or ACA meetings, you share. That's the key, to share things. And when you share this, it's in the hot seat. I mean, you can learn so much, like you say, with the Easter eggs. I mean, you can look at it and you learn,
Yeah,
because we have the same mechanism.
indeed. Yeah, so what Yo is talking about, I'm doing 3 group calls with the group, 3 group calls per month, and everybody is invited to come and ask questions, share struggle. And I help them, I coach them, and we call it a hot seat because often it gets hot when you're on the hot seat. It's not comfortable in a way because yeah, if you get on the hot seat, it means you agree with me, like trying to find out where is it that you're stuck, and that's not always comfortable. The most comfortable thing is to keep pointing fingers outside. It's not comfortable to see where you have been blocking yourself. So, but this is exactly the value of it, because not only for the person sitting on the hot seat, but everybody else, I call it Easter eggs. Like you need to go and look for these teaching moments, for these insights. You have to go and look for it, just like you go and look for Easter eggs. And that's the value you can take from it, even if somebody else is sitting on a hot seat. So yeah, I'm happy it helped you in both cases, you being on the hot seat and then also watching the group calls from everybody else. Yeah. Very good. Well, I'm so happy it helped. 3.5 months later, let's do a podcast episode 2, 3 years later, from your farm with your animals when you're helping your clients. I would be so happy to do like a checkup later with you. And to hear also how you're applying it with your daughter as she grows up. Because now you have everything you need. It will be up and down. And I keep telling everybody, we are not here to create a Dalai Lama out of you that you never raise your voice again. But you have the tools. You're confident in using them. You're not having unrealistic expectations with the judge in your head beating you up for every time you like, it's not perfect. So you're all set. You're good to go.
Yeah. We will keep in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last comments or anything you wanted to share, Yo, with anybody who's listening, or like anything you feel that is important, you just put it out there?
When I told my friend about this the other day, and she's one of my most intelligent friends, and we never fought actually. Anyway, so she said, this must be the most well invested money, I mean, that you
spent in something. Yeah.
And I said, yes, it is. And I dared to do it.
That's it. You had the courage. You trusted yourself and your guts. Well done.
And it's a struggle. I mean, it's been a challenge for me with my daughter, because she's dependent on me. And I thought, okay, I was a little bit stressed, but then if you do it, you do the picky reps and you continue, you have to do it all the time. And I mean, that's the most important, that you do the picky reps. And then if you cannot do everything else, not to be perfect, it's okay. But to do that.
The tools are small enough. Yeah, exactly. The tools are small enough and it's only a few seconds a day, but that's it. Like for little time, you get a lot of value. So that's how even super busy super moms with kids attached on their hip 24/7, how you could do it as well.
Yeah.
Very good.
So thank you.
Thank you. We will see you around, and I'm going to invite you for a follow-up podcast episode 2, 3 years later.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And thank you everybody for watching, listening. Hopefully this was an inspiration for you too. See you next time. Bye. Why can't you stop yelling at your kids? And no, it's not the stress, lack of sleep, kids not listening, fighting, hitting, no support, time pressure, ADHD, hormones. No, moms around the world are doing it regardless. How? Join us for the upcoming Mommy Tantrum training and find out too.